Okay, guys, I'm back. This is back to I'm doing episode 7, Linda. Starting episode 7. You okay? Yeah. Okay. Miss Linda's out in the backyard digging up weeds and everything. They're back in our back 40. We have a 2.5-acre place here. Anyway, what we're going to be doing in episode 7, since, as always, the Brazos River is still flooding, man. We had another 4/10 of an inch of rain here yesterday, man, and we're in the watershed for the Brazos River. We're never going to get out of here. We called some of our good friends in Bradenton, Florida, and they're wondering when we're going to get there. Hell, man, it's going to be mid-July now. Anyway, so what we're doing in episode 7 is we're going to do what a lot of people are calling boat hacks. And what I've got here is, as I walk out into the backyard, I've got an old whisker pole which is used to hold the jib out if you are out there in the world sailing downwind primarily. I believe I've got this on camera now. Yeah. Anyway, this is an old broken whisker pole right here, and you can see that it was made out of I think it was made out of yeah, as I was saying, this is Douglas fir right here, and it was like it looks like about 2.5 by 3.5 inches, something like that. And back in the day, man, this was state of the art. It might have been in the 60s. This would have all been really shiny brass or bronze hardware. It's still perfectly good, even though it's a million years old. And you can see the other broken half right here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some JB Weld. You could use regular epoxy glue if you want, but I like JB Weld because it dries in 5 minutes, JB Quick, and some screws and some clamps, and we're gonna put this thing back together. And then I think what we might do is we might actually beef it up a little bit. I've got some leftover aluminum plate that I may screw into the boom over the old broken spot here to try to stiffen it up a little bit more. But what we believe in here at Captain Tom's Sailing Adventures is we believe in being as utilitarian as we can with what we have. So the next step will be getting the JB Weld and the screws going. Okay, so what we have here are the tricks of the trade here. This is classic JB Weld, quick weld, 6-minute epoxy. And it is really good stuff. And we're going to come down here. We're going to clean up this broken spot here. And then we're going to use these 2 C-clamps right here. Also salvaged from the one that's broken is actually came out of a garbage can somewhere. But it's still utilizable, as you shall see here in a minute. And then we'll get the other piece, clean it up, which is right here. Yeah, there it is. Got kind of a nasty end on it right there. But it'll clean up and we'll put it together. One thing that I've done, and this is always good practice when you're going to splice something back together like this. So I got these 2 C-clamps and I fit them up with everything dry to figure out exactly how I should set them to clamp it down after I get the glue put in place up here on the brake. And once I get the clamps on like this with the glue between both parts, and you need to butter up both sides of it, so it's going to take a fair amount of JB Weld. Get the clamps in place, and then I'm going to run screws in here to help hold it in place. But you can definitely see what we're going to be doing now. Okay, so we are going to get our JB Weld here. Clean off a nice clean place to work. I've got some old aluminum here, and I'm probably going to use this aluminum. I'm going to probably cut this with a carbide tip blade, and we're going to probably put some of this onto the whisker pole to help strengthen it up at the broken spot. I mean, why not, man? This is just old scrap aluminum plate. Gotten at a scrap yard. You can buy this stuff for 15 cents a pound. They call it dirty aluminum. Hey, it's aluminum, man. So, put that there. Get the JB and break it out. and we will commence to mixing it up. The JB weld ready here, ready to go. My C-clamps are staged. Found an old putty knife here to help spread the JB weld. So we're going to put a fair amount on this. We're going to probably use up a good half of the tube anyway for this batch here. And of course it is a two-part epoxy, so it doesn't start hardening up until you get both the equal amounts out. So we're getting them on down. Fair amount of epoxy here. We're going to mainly get it on the two ends down here and down here, and hopefully the screws will take up some of the slack on the deal here. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix it up. Now we got about 6 minutes to get this all together. You can see this is going to turn to a gray color, and like it starts to harden up like real quick, man. This is really great stuff, but it works really fast. It's 85 degrees too. So we're gonna start daubing it on here. There's some there, some up here. Oh man, here we go. Careful there. Y'all can see what I'm doing here. I get a lot in there like that. And now we're gonna come over here to the other broken end here and butter that right there. Butter this down here really well, and then we're going to use the rest of it kind of liberally on the broken spots. And of course this is an inexact science, and some people might argue that you need a whole lot more than this to do the job adequately. I don't know, man. It's a pretty amazing adhesive, and plus we're also going to be beefing up the entire apparatus with some aluminum side plate I made out of this right here. So there it is right there. Now we're going to get the two clamps, and we're going to come into this right here like so, and that slides in like that, and this will go this way, this will go this way like this, and then this clamp will go this way like that. Epoxy glue is water soluble, and you can see we got a bunch spread out right here, so we're going to work that into the veins at the seam here to check us. It has tremendous adhesive properties about it everywhere. It's really incredible glue. It really is. It's astonishingly good. And getting that down there. Get underneath the boom here. I'm calling it a boom. It's a whisker pole, of course, but anything that holds a sail into a position, it can be technically called a boom. So there it is right there. That's all nicely put together. And what we're going to do is I'm going to get my drill, and we're going to run some screws in here too. Okay, so I went and got my tool kit. This is a great little inexpensive kit from Walmart. Some of their hyper tough products. And you know, Walmart and Harbor Freight are my friends, man. I use their tools, a lot of them. You just can't beat the price, man. And so we've got some really long screws. These screws are actually going to stick out. We got a 4-inch grinder to cut the tips off if they come out too far. So that's what we're going to do here in just a sec. That's the correct size. This is another great tool. This is a Hercules by Harbor Freight, man. 20 volt. These things are pretty good, man. You can't beat the price. And I really like the chuck on it. So, lithium ion. We're going to get this screw and we're going to go ahead and run it on through this part here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it at a little bit of a diagonal to hopefully hide the shank of the screw up inside of the repair here. So we're going to do that. And actually, it wouldn't hurt to drill a pilot hole here. So we're going to do that really quickly. A small pilot, it can't hurt and it possibly will help. And it'll hopefully help prevent it from splitting. Slightly smaller than the screw shank here. So here's our nice little drill bit. Okay, so we're gonna come right on in here like this. Go to diagonal right here. Like that. And this right here is a 100-year-old blacksmith vise from the horse and buggy age, man. I got that at a garage sale for 25 bucks about 20 years ago, and I wouldn't sell it. It's my most precious heirloom. This is going to my stepson Jeff, who's a really competent, really good metal worker. And this kind of a tool should never be thrown away. This tool here is immortal, man. I love it. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and run this screw in here now. And if we come out, that's no big deal because we'll cut it off. Yep, it came out a little bit right there. No big deal. We'll cut it off with a 4-inch grinder. So let's drill another hole on the other side. That's no big deal. You know, a lot of my people out there go, golly, Capt, that's kind of ugly, isn't it? I go, well, hey man, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, baby. Okay, so let's see here. Let's do the same thing again. Get that run. I love that sound, man. That thing clicks home, and baby, you got you a really good, solid chuck on that. And this one exposed itself a little bit too. Again, no biggie. And I think we'll put one more, just to really secure it here. So we'll go one more. Oops, cut that off center a little bit. And let's see where we're going to go with this one. I think we'll come up here. This is kind of on the high end of the splice here. Start it straight. Now I'm going to go down at a little bit of an angle here. And again, these nasty ends here, which would be definitely meat hooks, are going to be cut off with a 4-inch grinder. After the material hardens up, after the JB well hardens up. So here we go, at a little bit of an angle here. I think that one buried itself. Okay, cool, that'll work. And I'm having so much fun screwing around that I think I'm gonna put one more. I think we're gonna go right down in here. It can't hurt. Again, you know, this is like classic field expediency here. I go to garage sales a lot and look for things like this. This bucket right here costs 50 bucks. Man, you can find them at garage sales and they practically give them away. And this is a stainless screw that I got at another garage sale. These things are 25 cents a pop. So man, I found a box of these at a garage sale. I think $100 for it. I got it for 10 bucks. You know, that's what it's all about, man. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, so the next step, guys, is to let this stuff harden up, and let's see how this thing turns out, and then we'll beef it up. All right, talk to you a little bit later. Okay, we're back, and as y'all can see, we have right here, we cut the meat hook off right there. That's where the screw had come through. On this side, we've done a little light sanding. You can see the screw holes right here in front of you. And you can see a little bit of, a little shy of glue there, but I think down inside it's okay. And then of course here's the other side. Again, you can see the screw holes very readily, right there and right there. And then we had another meat hook right here that we cut out. So the boom itself, now the whisker pole, is back pretty much perfectly straight again and ready to be beefed up. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some old, I haven't decided if I'm going to use aluminum or if I'm going to use some old fiberglass battens I've got. When the boom starts to flex, on one side the load is compressive and on the other side it's tensile. So you kind of have the best of both and worst of both worlds if you put a batten on either side of the boom or the whisker pole here. And we may go ahead and try that. And hey, if the worst comes to worst and it breaks, well, we'll just fix it again. All right. So we're finally back for the last shot from episode number 7. As you can see, we have gone ahead and we built, or I shall say, rebuilt a whisker pole made out of Douglas fir. And what we decided to do, since so many of y'all have seen fiberglass work being done in a million other videos, we've decided we're going to fiberglass a 4-foot section of it. But that's just standard operating procedure, laying up glass on the pole over the brake, and then we'll clean it up, and then we'll ultimately paint the spinnaker pole. So that pretty much finishes up episode number 7 of Captain Tom's Sailing Adventures. Now here's a little foreshadowing for you guys out there in YouTube land. We finally got down to Mexico and I got my teeth done. As you can see, they are very white. I had 6 caps done on my front teeth up here in Mexico for about 15 cents on the dollar American. I swear to God. Anyway, so I'm really pleased with that, but the big news is the boat has been moved from Matagorda, Texas to the shipyard in Freeport, Texas. And that episode, guys, episode number 8, is going to be worth waiting for. Man, you are not going to believe the footage and what we had to do to get that boat to Freeport, Texas. Anyway, Miss Linda and I are glad y'all are out there still watching. Remember to subscribe to all the YouTube channels that you're dealing with. We are going to be on Patreon pretty soon, finally figuring out how to do that. And we're so glad that you watched this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. This is Captain Tom. Hey, see you next time. Bye.